Well, hello, and thank you for joining us for our weekend edition of what usually is Stories of Great Christians. But as we close out the month and maybe go into next month, I've been thinking before starting a real big, long episodes, how about stories of great Jewish Christians? Now, for some of you who might not know, in San Francisco, there's a group, and I remember them in Bible college, called Jews for Jesus. I believe they started around 1976 when Moishe Rosen, he was about, I think, 43, 44 when that started, and it's still going strong today. In fact, you can go to their website and find out about them. Now, there's going to be a little testimony today from his daughter. Moises went on with the Lord 7 years ago, and she wrote a book called Called to Controversy. It's the unlikely story of Moishe Rosen and the founding of Jews for Jesus, and it's by his daughter Ruth Rosen. But listen up, take a listen and tell us what you think, and leave a comment. Thought we'd do something different, so here we go.
Hi, I'm Ruth Rosen, author of Called to Controversy, the unlikely story of Moishe Rosen and the founding of Jews for Jesus. And if you're wondering about the same last name, I'm also Moishe Rosen's daughter. My father grew up in a Jewish community in Denver where, like all his family and friends, he just knew that Jesus wasn't for him. So what happened to make him into one of the most powerful forces for bringing the message of Jesus to other Jews who, like him, really did not want to hear? I wish you could have met my father personally, but through the many interviews, you will hear much of the story in his own voice. He was creative and quirky and incredibly devoted to telling people that Yeshua, that's the Jewish way to say Jesus, is the way for Jews and Gentiles to be reconciled to God. Called to Controversy recounts some of his amazing adventures, including how he was able to tell about Jesus even when being held up at knife point. A good biography shows a person's weaknesses and failures as well as their strengths and successes. That's challenging to do for anyone, let alone for your own father. Week after week, I'd bring him another chapter and kind of hold my breath. But I was thrilled when he told me that the manuscript was giving him insights into his own life. I hope you'll have a similar experience. Not so much gaining insights into Moishe Rosen, although there are plenty of those, but more important, I think you'll find insights into how God works and the powerful things that he can do in and through your life if you'll trust him.
I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ because it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first, also to the Greek.
Well, it was short and brief, but I think it was effective. What did you think? I thought it was pretty good. Well, leave your thoughts and comments, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Stories of Great Christians who may be Jewish, or were Jewish, and the Lord saved them to become Messianic Jews. Just like the Old Testament and the New Testament came together after Jesus' death, Peter, Paul, that's how the early church started, from the Jews, to the Jew first, then to the Greek. We're still in that age, but pretty soon that age is going to close up. Till next time, God bless, have a great day.